Everyone, thank you for tuning into today's video, which is a tutorial slash mini review of the MAC Cinderella collection. If you are a makeup junkie, you have definitely heard of this collaboration between MAC and the movie coming out from Disney, Cinderella. Even if you're not a MAC makeup junkie, you probably have heard of that as well. You probably also heard that the collection went super quick. Very quickly when it launched online last week. Even myself, I got up at like 7 a.m. and most of the collection, it was already sold out. I'm Pacific time, so that's probably why. It goes East Coast and they woke up and purchased everything, I guess. So by the time it gets to us on the Pacific Coast, if we are asleep, we miss out. So anyway, it launched in the stores on Thursday. I was in line Thursday morning. I picked up several things. And so this is going to be an easy tutorial. The eye look I did, I'm sure there are going to be millions and millions, well not millions, but hundreds of tutorials for the Cinderella collection. And so I'm just throwing mine in there. It was very simple. You'll see it's not a lot of steps. I tried to incorporate every color in the palette. And then at the end of the video, I will talk to you about, my thoughts, basically a little mini review. And then also some dupes that I found. They're not exact dupes, unfortunately. I couldn't find anything in my vast collection that was exactly the same, but I tried to find products that were as close as I could possibly come up with and then allow you to get the similar look. So if you like what I've done here, then you can easily dupe it without having to have the MAC Cinderella collection, because the eyeshadows in that palette are permanent, most of them, and then the Reflex Pearl that I used is also a permanent product. It's not obviously in the Cinderella packaging, but anyway, let's get right to the tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you at the end of this. So I've already primed my face and done my foundation. My foundation that I used is the new Clinique Beyond Perfecting foundation, and the shade is number 7 Cream Chamois. And I'm gonna have a review of this up next week. This is only the second time I've used it, so I'm not really sure exactly how I feel about it yet. So that review will come next week. And then I set it with some, what did I use? Derma Blend powder. And then I did my brows, and that foundation has some concealer, so I also did conceal underneath my brows. So let's get to the eyes. I'm going to use the Cinderella Limited Edition Compact. And all of these colors are permanent colors except for this one right here, which I think is called Stroke of Midnight. And at the end of this video, I am going to give you some dupes for this. Well, not some, I think I found one. Just some dupes that might not be perfect, but can get you a very similar look. And I will show you those at the end of the video. So right now we're going to go into the eyes. So the first color I'm going to use is this shade right here, which is Quarry, because I think this is Omega and then this is Quarry. So I'm going to use this big fluffy brush right here. I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see a little bit better. Am I focused? Can you see? So I'm going to take the fluffy brush that I always use for my transition color, which is this one right here, which is that discontinued one. I'm going to go into this shade Quarry and go right in the crease. And I think so this video doesn't go too long because I haven't really kind of nailed down how to do this without, I don't know if it's just my talking too much, or I feel like right now what I should do is kind of speed it up and do what I did last time, which is post down below all the steps. Well, not down below, just do captions for what I'm doing. So I'm probably going to speed this up from this point. And then you just let me know if you like it that way or not. mixed up my liquid liner and I popped on some mascara, and I also took a little bit of the Omega, the shade right here, and ran that through my brows. It's a great color for blondes, so that's another use for this color. If you're a blonde, definitely works fantastic for brows. So now what I'm gonna do is, I haven't done anything else. What I just said is the only thing I did off camera was fixed my liquid liner, because it's hard for me to kind of balance. I need to work on my setup here so I can not have to use one hand to do liquid eyeliner, because it's really hard to do like that. So I'm gonna take this flat tap brush and I'm gonna go into my Satin Taupe shade and tap off the excess, and I'm gonna go right underneath the lash line with this. The Satin Taupe, just moving it along gently, because I'm giving it a soft smudge, not a lot of color down there. I'm going inner to outer corner. And I'm sorry, I can't see this. So I only do one eye in most of my videos, because this is not easy for me to do. I guess I gotta work on that setup, like I said. So then I'm gonna go back into that Stroke of Midnight color and deepen just the outer portion of the lower lash line. You can see it's just a soft amount of color under there, not real harsh. And I'm just kind of placing it and then blending it as I go, just with the same brush. When I say blending it as I go, I mean I'm pressing and then kind of sliding the brush. And then I'm going to take this little brush right here, and I'm going to go into Vapor. No, Vapor's the first one I used. So Floof, which is this color over here. I'm gonna dip that little brush, and I'm gonna go in the inner corners of my eyes to brighten up that area. So here's the eyes. I am going to pop some false lashes on, because I feel like this type of princessy look really needs some false lashes. But the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to contour. And I'm going to take this brush that I mentioned in my favorites. It's by Morphe. I'm going to take this palette that I've been using the mirror on, which is the BH Cosmetics Forever Nude. I'm going to dip my brush in two of the darker colors. And I'm going to sculpt out my cheeks. You can see how oily I am. You can see how shiny I am already without even, I mean, I've been doing this. I don't even have harsh lights on me right now, and I'm super, super shiny. Oh, frustrating. So I'm just kind of, if you saw my, my contouring video, I'm not one of those big cream contouring people. I'm kind of old school in that I don't, I mean, maybe for photography, you know, maybe even a wedding day sort of, I don't know. I'm personally just not big on a lot of contouring. And then for my blush, and I do kind of hop out of order when I do things, so I apologize for that. I'm going to use this blush, meaning I go from eyes to cheeks to lips. I kind of move around because I still have a couple more things to do on the eyes. So I've contoured. Not really sure how that's looking in this super, super natural light. I'm right by a window. This is Chanel's Angelique blush. I'm absolutely loving this one. It's a beautiful matte peachy pink, very princessy type of color. I haven't bought a Chanel blush in a long time, but this one really, really caught my eye. Just that perfect peachy pink with no shimmer. And a lot of people don't like shimmer, so if you're in the market for a great blush with no shimmer, and you've been looking for that perfect peachy pink, this is it. I love it. Okay, so the next product I'm going to show you is this, where is it? The Cinderella Coup de Chic Iridescent Powder. I am going to refrain from giving you my thoughts on this until the end of the video. I'm going to take my highlighting brush, dip it in, and just kind of dust it on the cheekbones. Nose, here at the usual highlighting spots. And then for my lips, I'm going to outline with the Perfect Lips in Nude from Too Faced. And then I'm going to take the lipstick in Royal Ball. You know, this one sold out super fast. And again, I'll give you all my thoughts at the end. Ooh, you can see my lips are dry. Yuck. So that's the lip liner and the lipstick. And then finally, the Glass Slipper Gloss. Ooh, that's bad, the dry skin on my lips. So I'm going to now go show you how I'm going to use the Reflex Pearl or Reflects Pearl, I don't know, glitter, I guess. This is, mine is not obviously in the Cinderella packaging because I figured I didn't really need it. Was excited about the packaging, but didn't really feel like I needed to repurchase another one of these since it is part of their permanent collection. And so all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a MAC 242 and I'm going to try to be very careful because I don't want this to spill, but I'm just going to take a tiny bit on my brush and place that right on the center of my lid. I love this product. I've been using it for a long time, even before it came out in this collection. I just think it is super gorgeous. And I think a little glitter, it's not, you know, intense glitter, it's just a little sparkle. I think it's totally age appropriate. It's, you know, it depends on the event. It depends on, as I've said before, your comfort level with your makeup. You know, you might think, no way in heck, I am, you know, 40 or 50, I'm not gonna wear a sparkle, and that's fine. I did a bride, well no, she wasn't a bride. I did the mother of a groom. I did a wedding party last week, and I put this on one of the younger girls in the bridal party, and the mother of the bride was like, I want some of that on. She said, give me sparkle, give me some sparkle. And I did, and she loved it, and it looked great. And she was, I think she told me she was like 55, and she absolutely loved it. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop on some lashes. I'm gonna use the Iconic from House of Lashes, and I will be right back. This is the final look one more time. So now I want to talk about the products themselves. The first I want to talk about the Cinderella palette. I know the look I did was very, very simplistic. It was kind of maybe even boring, but I just wanted to show you one way to use the palette very, very easily. I know a lot of people were disappointed that they weren't able to get this palette, but just so you know, and maybe you already do know this, that all the colors except for Stroke of Midnight, which is the plummy color right here, are part of MAC's permanent collection. And to be honest with you, I think that the colors in their permanent collection, the formula, is better than this. I find this Stroke of Midnight not very blendable, not super pigmented. You're definitely not missing out on just this one color. Obviously, if you wanted this for just the packaging and the portability of having all these nice colors in one compact, that unfortunately I can't help you with, but you can definitely find a dupe for this shade, and one that I found, not exactly the same. The dupes that I'm going to show you are not identical. I couldn't find anything in my stash that was identical, but just to achieve a similar look, if that's what you want. This is Drama Queen from Makeup Geek. It's a little bit more of a true plum purple versus Stroke of Midnight is more of what I would call a blue-based purple. It definitely has a lot of kind of bluer tones, and it has a little bit of multi-tonal glitters, I guess you could say, which I think is what makes it patchier and harder and more difficult to blend. So in my opinion, I don't normally blow on my products, but that was really bothering me. You can definitely dupe this palette. I wouldn't cry over missing out on it again unless it was simply for the packaging. Another product that I definitely am not really understanding I haven't really checked reviews, but I know that these products were highly, coveted and went really quickly, the iridescent powder and the beauty powder. I didn't pick up the beauty powder because I had seen swatches online next to like the Balm Mary Luminizer, and Mary Luminizer looked much more pigmented, much more buttery in texture, and I just was trying to kind of pare down what I purchased since there was no MAC Pro discount on this. So this is the Coupe de Chic, and look how gorgeous it is. Beautiful peachy pink, iridescent, and while it is an iridescent powder, iridescent powder, I was expecting a little bit more from it. It's very grainy. It just comes up as heavy gold chunks on your skin. It's just gold sparkle. And to be honest, it really emphasizes my pores. Really emphasizes my pores. I don't know if you can tell, but I could definitely tell yesterday when I used it for the first time. I felt it really highlighted them, and I'm thinking about doing a blog sale soon, and this will probably end up on, I haven't done a blog sale in years because to be honest, it was a ton of work, but I have a bunch of great stuff that I think those of you watching or other people would really want. So again, this, as far as product goes, this is a failure for me, I would say. Then next up is the lip products. I got both the lip glosses, and then of course I got Royal Ball lipstick. It's a luster. So this is Royal Ball right here. The one above it is the one that I found is my dupe. Again, it's not exactly the same, but it is Palladio's Fantasy Pink. I actually like it a little bit better. It has a little bit more pigment to it. And so if you have a darker skin, this is fine. Royal Ball is fine for, us paler skins. But if you want that look with a little bit more color, this Fantasy Pink is great. And then Glass Slipper, to be honest, it's really pretty. It's a very clear iridescent pink, with the multicolored sparkles. And while it is pretty, it's not, oh my gosh, the most gorgeous color ever. And to be honest with you, it reminds me of the little girl lip glosses I used to play with when I was like 6 years old, like the little Tinkerbell glosses. So again, definitely not must-haves, definitely aren't going to look good on a lot of skin tones. And then, so the gloss dupe I found, this one is from Revlon, and it's called Party Pink, or it's number 205, Snow Pink. Snow Pink is what it is. And so I'll put Snow Pink next to Glass Slipper. And they're both very clear bases, so it's hard to see. But, this one doesn't have the pretty kind of multi-tonal pearlized sparkles in it, but that doesn't really pick up on your lips anyway. So if you wanted a nice dupe of the lip I have on, the Party Pink and this Snow Pink from Revlon would be a good dupe of that. And then for the Reflects Pearl, which like I mentioned in the video, you can still buy that. That is part of MAC's permanent collection. And then I use Stila liquid liner, and then that Chanel blush. Not so dupeable, at least in my stash of like 30 or 40 blushes. I could not find anything that was that great of a peachy pink and matte. So if you can get your hands on Angelique from Chanel, that's great too. As I said, I will be reviewing the Clinique foundation in the upcoming days. I just want to make sure that I got, you know, 3 or 4 days out of it. And that's it. What else can I say about the collection? Basically, I'm glad I got it. It was fun. It was fun participating in like the hoopla around it. I got to the store at 9:15. We have 3 MAC stores here in Las Vegas. 2 of them are in the casinos. 1 of them is at an outdoor mall. And so I decided to not battle the casinos and the parking and all that and just go to the outdoor mall. I got there at 9:15. There was 1 person in line, but then I sat in my car for a few minutes and I saw somebody else get out. And I thought, oh, they are lining up. So I got out of my car like 9:15, and by 9:30, there was probably 10 people in line. And by 10 o'clock, when they started letting people in, there was probably 50 people in line. The girls came out and they said, there's only 3 of us, so we're gonna be letting 3 people in at a time. And that's exactly what they did. So I was one of the first people in, got what I wanted, and I saw the drawers of what they had, and they didn't really have that much. They didn't get in any of the pigments, so even if I wanted a reflex pearl, they did not get that in. They did not get in the other 2 colors, and I kind of wanted that Pretty It Up, I think is what it was called, that olivey one. Really wanted that one, but I didn't get it. So I just got the things you saw, plus the other lip gloss, which is a little bit more of a mauve-y, has a little bit more color to it. Again, not super impressed. So as far as the colors go, there's nothing like unique. There's nothing amazing. The pigmentation in the shadows is not that great. I don't mean to like bash the line, because like I said, I'm glad I got it and I like the products. I just don't think that if you're really sulking about not getting it, again, if you're sulking because you wanted the packaging, that's one thing. But if you wanted that specific color, or you wanted, there's definitely dupes out there to get a lot. If you're watching other videos of other tutorials using this, there's definitely, maybe not that Pretty Up pigment. That was pretty unique, which is why I really wanted that one. So that's annoying, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was helpful. I hope it made you feel better if you were sad about missing out. And I'm going to try to mix up my setup so I can do a little bit better there, as far as not having to leave to do certain things, because I just don't have, I need to be able to see better when I'm applying the makeup. So that's all. Thank you again so much for watching, and you all have a beautiful day.